Live from your mom's basement, this is Psychotronic Coast to Coast. I'm your host, Skinslip, and my co-host, Owen. And today, we're watching the 1997 classic, The Bloody Ape, released here on DVD by Wild Eye Entertainment? Wild Eye Releasing, I believe is what the studio. It's just called Wild Eye. And it's also known as Song of Sweetback versus Kong. And this movie is not good. Owen, would you like to explain to the audience why this is not good?
There's a lot of reasons why it's not good.
Yeah.
I can just list them. You got your acting, the music, the editing, the shots.
Oh, God. How about the fact that in nearly every moment of the movie you can hear the camera rolling?
Yes.
It was very nice to have sync sound, but you can hear the camera rolling. Oh, man. This is not the worst movie I've ever seen. That would be hyperbole if I were to call it that. This is it's terrible. It's utterly terrible. I think maybe if we were more intoxicated, maybe had a few more people with us, maybe some funny people, because I'm not funny. So maybe if we had some funny people to make fun of the movie, maybe it'd be a little more enjoyable. But Jesus. So it says from Maverick indie filmmaker Keith J. Crocker, who did Blitzkrieg, Escape from Stalag 69, which I also own. God help me. The Bloody Ape is a gore-soaked love letter to the sex and violence of the Grindhouse movie era that pulls no punches and offers no apologies. And it really should offer an apology because it was horrifically racist.
It was.
It was attempting to be humorous, and its racism was... It wasn't funny, so it just ended up being racist and awkward.
Yeah, either the character was being racist, or it was a racist stereotype character.
It's hard to... I mean, definitely the character was a racist character, but it was done as if like a comedy, but it wasn't funny, so it just ends up being racist. It lost the humor, so it was just racist instead of being funny and racist.
Yeah.
So if at least it's funny, you can forgive it. So do you want to start taking us through this crap fest, if you can remember at all?
I will do my best. Because the first 20 minutes they just dragged. But
just characters talking, babbling. Had no impact on the plot except for the dude's wife leaving him.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, you meet the guy. I don't remember his name. I'm bad with names. Houdini.
Crapolini. I don't. I'll find out. Go ahead.
Something like that. He works at the carnival as an ape. He goes to meet this black gentleman who's trying to get his car fixed, but the mechanic is racist and won't fix his car. There's a weird scene where he gives the kid a piece of candy. I guess that's supposed to show that he's a nice guy. It was just weird and awkward. He leaves. The carnival guy shows up to get his car he's got his woman with him at the time. Guy's still being kind of racist and sexist, grabbing up on her. Looked like at one point he was going to straight rape her.
Yeah, he's definitely, that's where they were going with that. You could tell. Jesus.
He leaves with the car. There's a whole long scene where he's trying to buy a ring off a Jewish guy who's selling fake rings.
Mm-hmm.
That scene goes on.
It's as uninteresting as he's making it sound for the first 40 minutes or so.
That whole scene drags. That's like 15 minutes of
talking heads.
Jewish jokes.
It's 15 minutes of anti-Semitism and talking heads. It was the worst fake Jewish beard ever.
Yeah, and I couldn't stop staring at like the other stuff on his face. Like, what was that supposed to be? Like fake zits?
I think so, or maybe a mole or something. Or are they saying that like Jews have like bad acne or something? Like, what the fuck? And he kept calling him the Heeb, of course. And I was just like, oh God, stop it, overdoing it.
And then I swear he told him to go away because he was selling these fake rings. But then he had a ring to ask the girl to marry him, and
right.
She says no.
Rightfully so. This guy's a racist.
And that scene was really long too, with these like she kept using really large words and.
Oh my God, the dialogue. Okay, so it was written by someone who clearly used the era's Microsoft Word's thesaurus function to replace words, because sometimes those words didn't make any sense in the context they're being used. What the hell? This movie. It's something to behold. Just gotta leave it at that.
So since his love of his life left, he flipped his shit pretty much, and he released his ape, and he gave the mechanic bananas, and he sent banana soap to the girl.
Yeah.
We don't learn till later what the whole thing is, but he left the ape
he has this weird fascination with bananas. We don't know why. But
and then there's probably 5 to 10 minutes of like archive footage of some like hippie party.
We think it might be archive footage, or it might be footage shot during 1997 at a Grateful Dead concert, but it's only in the parking lot, because there was hippies and VWs everywhere, but and everyone looked like they were from the 60s. But I don't believe they used stock footage. They could have, but
yeah. Then we see one of the hippies walking towards a tree, and I made a joke like, "Oh, the ape's gonna come out and rip his dick off," and then the ape came out and ripped his dick off.
I also said, as I said, well, of course, I bet you it's a reference to the Night of the Demon. And of course it was a reference to Night of the Demon, and that's 2 for 4 of movies that we've watched on the show with dick ripping, de-dicking.
This one was entertaining because of the simple fact that he was just clearly holding like a big sausage. It didn't look like a penis at all.
Yeah, it was a dildo. It was a really cheap dildo. The film took 5 years to make, apparently. And it was devised as a Sasquatch cinema offering called Bigfoot on Campus. That makes that makes sense with the Night of the Demon reference.
Because I had a movie idea with Bigfoot killing people on a campus.
Hey, yeah. Trash minds think alike, right?
Although he was going to use wrestling moves to kill people.
Oh my God! So there's a scene early in the middle of the film where the ape is driving a car, and apparently it was done without permits at 7 a.m. on a Sunday morning. The ape driving a car. You're like, what the fuck? Like,
yes. Now I don't remember the kill exact order, but ape kills 3 girls in an apartment. He rapes 1 too, I believe.
Yeah, he rapes that one dude's wife. He rapes one dude's wife after killing the dude or whatever.
Yeah, that was later.
Yeah.
First he kills 3 girls, one being the girl that the guy wanted to marry.
Right.
Clearly wasn't her.
No, it was like, yeah.
It was another girl with a wig on or something.
Apparently the women who do nudes in the film were all topless dancers from a local strip clubs who got paid $100 each to appear nude in the movie.
Yeah, and all those kills are pretty much him just rubbing their breast until they died.
It's a guy now, apes just grabbing the boobs, and then they're dead. And that's it. That's the end. Those are the attacks. It's unbelievable. It is.
The ape then kills the mechanic.
I found the answer. Director Keith J. Crocker played the ape in the scene, which depicts the gorilla attacking a noob in the shower. The one in which he grabs her boobs, essentially. Oh my god. So yeah, what were you saying?
Well, the ape kills the mechanic.
Right.
Randomly runs into a guy, cuts him in half with a car.
Yep.
And he's driving down the road. Some more racist stuff where he almost hits a cop.
Oh my god, the cop uses the N-word, and I'm like, whoa. Too far. There was a line, and he just kicked the line. He just stepped right the fuck over it.
And the cop gets his head ripped off in a pretty hilarious scene. And
sticks his head in, and then jarring cut. Body falls over. Ape gets up holding a fake severed head.
Yeah.
Throws it right at the camera and hits the camera. Like I just, Mike, like an idiot.
Yeah. And then probably my favorite character, which was the racist cop who kept showing up after every kill. And this other detective would come in and be like, I think the escaped ape ripped the guy's dick off. And he's like, nah, he ripped his own dick off.
He ripped his own dick off. I love that.
And he did all this amazing policing from his desk. He'd keep coming in with like, oh, 3 girls were killed. I'll tell you who did it. And he would just like random off. And then he started including that the black gentleman from the beginning is in fact the one killing everybody.
He keeps calling him a spade. I'm just gonna be honest. He keeps saying the word spade when referring to him, and it's just like, wow.
Yeah,
and I get it's a character, but holy crap, it's just it's not funny, so it's just really inappropriate and awkward. I actually just realized I have one grave too many on this disc because it's a short film, and I have Stalag 69. I have the entire Keith J. Crocker output. I have the entire Keith J. Crocker film library.
Congratulations.
I hate myself. Anyway.
Yeah. So it kind of jumps back and forth between ape killing, cop explaining in a way as the black gentleman and or whatever else he throws out there.
Yeah. Hateful crap from cop who's clearly a mechanic with different facial hair, I think. Maybe. I could be mixing up.
I think the cop was a little heavier, but it could have been the same guy. Yeah, I think
don't mind me. All fat people look alike. I know I'm one. No, I'm kidding. Yeah. Anyway.
It could have been the same guy, but I thought he looked heavier in the face.
The movie is so dull for the first 30 minutes that all the characters were just one blobulous, unacting person. So then killing started, and it was more interesting, and goofy stuff started happening. They could have cut 20 more minutes out of this. Just give me a 60-minute movie, and I would have been happier.
They finally catch the African American gentleman that one guy believes who's doing it, and some weird scenes of the lawyer being like, hey, if you can confess to a bunch of robberies, we'll get you off on the murders.
Yeah, you'll only be in jail for 3 years instead of life. Jesus.
Yeah. Then they bring in, the guy that owns the ape, and he's like, yeah, my ape's doing it. And he's like, nah, we caught the guy doing it.
I know. And he's just like, nope, couldn't be the ape. Even though you're telling me it's the ape, that's not the ape. Nope.
And not necessarily helping his cause, the African gentleman knees the cop and escapes and just starts running. And then there's a lot of weird footage. The ape at one point kills a guy at a VHS rental place.
Yeah. Terrible. The worst VHS rental place in the world because the guy keeps kicking his patrons out for just asking about if they have certain movies. You ask them three times and it kicks you out. It happened twice. Wow. You guys have this movie? Get out of here. What? I wanted to rent a movie. You son of a bitch.
And if the movie's not confusing enough, the owner of the ape goes to the VHS store, goes into the porn section, opens the floor, and goes down there, and the ape attacks him.
We don't know why he went to the he just knew the ape was there and went and got killed by the ape.
Yeah, and then it's like a bunch of back and forth cuts of guy running with music.
Mm-hmm. The African American gentleman running with music. Yeah.
The ape shaking the owner. Cut, back, forth.
For padding for way too long.
And then the African American guy goes into the VHS store, goes in the porn section, and opens
falls
the floor.
down the stairs, by the way. He goes over the thing and he's like, rah! And he almost goes down the steps. So.
I have no idea why he ended up there. He did.
He ran to the porn store. It doesn't make sense. He just ran there.
And then the ape comes out, feels him a little bit, and walks away. Because I guess he's one of them was the joke.
Yeah, that's where I'm just like, taking the joke a bit too far.
So he then goes over to the owner, and it goes to this weird cut with this voiceover where he was like, I had nothing to live for, and I tortured the ape with banana smelling bananas until he would kill for me. Right?
Like explaining why him giving all the banana scented crap to people was getting the ape to kill those people because he went to a rage at the smell of bananas. Okay.
And then I like the how they try to tie it together with the other killings. Like, I know he'd kill others, but they probably deserved it.
Oh my god.
That's how he explained all the other murders. Because it's not like he was going around town handing out bananas.
So we got Doc the Metal Freak watching, and he's like, the bloody ape. It's either a giant monkey on its period, or it's about a killer ape. A killer gorilla. Which one exactly? Well, the killer gorilla one.
Yeah.
I'm going to send this to Doc. Doc needs to see this if he hasn't seen this. Jesus. There you go, Doc. You got a recommendation. The bloody ape. All right, so
we're almost at the end.
Yeah.
And another thing I called about halfway through.
Yes.
Like, the cop's gonna show up and he's gonna shoot the guy. And the cop shows up and in fact shoots the African American guy. Like 5 times.
Just for being there.
And then I love the fact they go up and they just shut the hatch. They're like, case closed.
Yep. And then the ape drags him down the stairs.
Yep, he drags the cop down the stairs, and then somehow the latch shuts and the porn door shuts. So there must have been a ghost too.
Yep, just for reasons, you know. And then we thought the movie was continuing, but it was actually bloopers for the credits. There needed to be it needed to fade to black and then fade out from black to not confuse the shit out of it for a second. Like, what the fuck? The movie's still going? Oh.
I think we should also mention the random cuts when the African American guy was talking to the kid and giving him candy. It randomly cut to the fat mechanic slapping his bare belly.
Yes. Oh my god. And the poor kid who's saying, I can't talk to strangers, but takes candy from the stranger.
No, he can't cross the street without help.
Oh, right. And he's a stranger, but he'll take candy. Like candy from the stranger, no problem. Oh yeah, it cut back twice to him like slapping his belly to this conversation too. Like, what the fuck? Oh my god, man. This was terrible. I'm sorry I made us watch this.
I was slightly entertained.
All right, so any other thoughts about the movie?
It was a movie and I watched it.
How many stars would you give it?
Half a star.
That's exactly what I gave it on Letterboxd, which is where I rate all my movies. All right then. What do we have for the fine folks next week, sir? Or next episode, whatever that may be.
Corpse Grinders.
Ted V. Michael's classic piece of trash, Corpse Grinders. Oh, one last thing though. I do want to say that although it was terrible, I'm glad this is preserved because it's a slice of American history, even if it's terrible history that we'd all rather forget. Because I appreciate the preservation efforts of preserving things that probably no one else will care about. Someone cared enough to put that in digital format so it'll live for 50 years at least. So, all right. Any last words?
No, but I'm excited about the Corpse Grinders. I've had this for years.
I have that in storage, but I will probably have to just buy another copy. Probably just going to watch the free copy on YouTube, honestly. Just because I already own it. It's just like...
And apparently he made a sequel in 2000?
Yes, he did. And there's a... Dude, Teddy Michaels is one of those directors who has like 20 movies under his belt, 30 movies under his belt, and they're all just low budget and bizarre and just have to be seen. Yeah, it's something we got to see. All right, so we'll watch the Corpse Grinders for the next episode, which is hopefully next week. So, from us to you, don't watch the Bloody Ape, but watch us next week for the Corpse Grinders on Psychotronic Coast to Coast.